Kenny and I only met about 5-6 years ago, but the moment we met, we speak the same language. When I speak to somebody who's talking about a big house, I know I'm talking to a person who came from a poor family who wants to join the middle class. I know that. When Kenny got a small house, Kim and I had a small house. We didn't have a big house when we met, but we were working our plan. You know, Kim's plan was start with one house, then get 2 a year, go to 18. And then when we got $10,000 a month cash flow and $3,000 expenses, we're financially free. Once we got that, then we could go full time into it. That was our plan. And just about that time I met Ken, and so we understand each other. But I can tell by a person's values, you know, like poor Gilberto, he's still renting. His expenses are going to go up and his wages are going to go down.
Well, and let me tell you one other problem with Gilberto. The landlord that he's renting from, his energy costs are going up. His insurance costs are going up.
He's going to pass it on.
Yeah, of course. That all gets passed on to him. That's how it works. Yeah. So his rent is going to go up.
So I want to just say this is what, and Kenny gave me this, but when we met, we both understood this like that quick, right? Correct. This was my rich dad's formula. It was a thing. Monopoly teaches us this right away. My poor dad was into capital gains, and my rich dad was into cash flow. One guy had one house, and one guy had hundreds of houses. Well, who do you want to be? You know, I mean, it's not that tough a mental decision, but if you're a poor person, you want to look rich. It's the illusion, it's psychosis. So Kenny said this, and I agree with this. Number one, if you want to be successful, you have to have good partners. The moment I met Kenny, I understood. When he told me he was a property manager, I was in love with him. He's my boyfriend. I knew. I said, this is the kind of guy I want to hang out with. Right? And as that last real estate course we did, you can't do a good deal with a bad partner. It doesn't mean they're bad people. They're just the wrong partner. And you're very careful who we become partners with, right?
Well, yeah, the key really is what do they bring? Because I obviously have lots of people, and Robert has lots of people approach us to be our partners. And I always ask the same question, what value do you bring that I don't already have?
It's even worse than that. There are people who want to go into real estate, but they have the negative Midas touch. Everything they touch turns to shit. You know, it doesn't turn to gold. And they, no matter what piece of real estate or what stock they go into, they have a loser's mentality. And that's why I don't hang out with losers. Well, I'm a good, hard-working person. I say, I know, but you're a laborer. You're not an investor. You don't understand me. But I'm a good person. I go to church every Sunday. I work hard. I say, yeah, but you're still a loser. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. Does that make sense, guys, here? You're a loser. You're a financial loser. That's what it means. It doesn't mean I don't want a bad partner. Got this? Got that? So Kenny and I will make millions and millions of dollars ad infinitum. We'll have a great time and all. It's just because of it. Number two, you have to have good financing, right?
Yeah, and there's a lot out there. That's another thing. It's very interesting, Robert. It's very easy to get financing in the commercial arena right now, at the moment.
Are rates low?
Rates are low. We're getting low rates right now under 6% for our apartment buildings. And what's happening is the subprime, all the stuff that's going on with the subprime, now the jumbo loans have gone up, right? So they're actually penalizing the wealthy people with higher rate loans to get money back, to recapitalize the money that they lost in the lower end markets. Now in the commercial markets, it's completely different because the bank, the financing source, everybody values that real estate on the cash flow. So that's the difference. See, all the people that are in this arena here also base their real estate on cash flow, not on where's the market going. That is something they
not
look
on
at.
Equity, not on appreciation or capital gains. That's what losers do.
Right. Will the property pay back my loan? That's it. That's all they care about. So they're looking at cash flow.
It's just fundamental. It's called fundamental investing. Now, when the market was trending up, that's technical. That's momentum play in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, real estate. It's just momentum. Everybody's hot. They're in the market. Now the momentum has shifted the other way, so property values will keep coming down. It's going to wipe out people's equity. And when it wipes out people's equity, it's called the wealth effect, negative wealth effect. They get depressed. Yeah. But it's just stupidity that got them into that problem anyway. Does that make sense, you guys here? Because they were playing capital gains. So the third part of the deal, and this is, I don't care if it's real estate or a business or anything, as Kenny said, management. And management means having good partners, good financing, good employees. When I met Kenny, I mean, I met Kenny through a bad deal.
Yeah, we did.
You know, this is the rule of thumb for all you people who are afraid of making mistakes. Every bad deal I've ever gone into, I've met a good person. Every single one. So when I go into a bad deal, I say, oh, this is good. I'm going to get screwed, but I'm going to need a nice person. Yeah. No, but that's what I'm saying. I meet so many guys that are going into, oh, what if I make a mistake? What is a bad person? You know, you will meet bad partners. Right now I'm going to a lawsuit with my partners. Good people, bad partners. They just do not fit the business anymore. That makes sense, you guys here? But through every bad deal, I meet good people. And Kenny and I met this guy.
I told Robert, I said, probably not a good day, Robert. Your partner's on the front of USA Today. And he really was.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I said, what happened to what's his name? I said, I don't know. The SEC was in there and they handcuffed him and took him out. I said, oh. I said, well, Kenny, you want to get some lunch?
Too bad for him.
I guess our meeting's off.
So, suffice to say, you probably didn't make any money on that deal.
No, but we made a lot of money here. So, you know, but you can't get a good partner unless you get rid of the bad partner. We work hard. We work very hard, but we don't work hard to work hard. We work hard to make a lot of money.
Yeah, it's the same personally too. You know, I mean, in a marriage situation, it's the exact same. If you guys are hanging out with couples that have that kind of mentality, then that's what you're going to get sucked into, and you know, whatever it might be. Yeah. So it doesn't apply to just business.
So I'd like to, you know, for those of you who have not or have reread Rich Dad, Poor Dad, you know, those are saying I've never helped people. I put it in the book. Kenny knew it. He read the book. He understood it. It was management. It was finance. It was partners. Nothing has changed. The economy has changed. It's gotten worse, which means it's good. But for losers, uneducated people, it's bad. And the poor will always be poor. It doesn't make any difference because poor Gilberto, when the economy was good, he didn't do anything different. And for the middle class, they went and bought bigger houses when the economy got good. How stupid is that? And now it's going to contract. It's going to go down. So all the big, you know, real estate companies and the guys with the mortgage brokers and real estate brokers, they're now looking for a job because they think like laborers. Does that make sense, you guys? They don't think like investors. If you had bad management, what would happen to the value of our properties?
Well, those are the kind that we buy. So we actually do look for a bad management situation. You know, it's interesting because as some of the investors come into our properties and invest with us, they always say, oh, it doesn't look like it's going to cash flow in the first year. You know, that's what they think. And I'm like, that's true. Because it's 75% occupied and expenses are high, you know, it takes me 18 months, maybe 2 years to turn around the management of this property on our larger ones. But their thinking is it's not a good investment for us because it doesn't produce cash in year one. Even though I have a strategy to increase the occupancy, increase the rent, and all those things. So those are the real estate investments that we look for are bad management, quite honest.
That's it. So nothing has changed. The reason I wanted to do this is because, you know, those of you who send in your hate emails and love emails, nothing has changed. If you were stupid enough to be a flipper, then you're getting punished right now, and you're still hanging on to it. If you were lucky enough to get out of it, you got lucky. but we didn't flip. We traded up at times, but we didn't flip the property. Does that make sense, you guys here? I traded up because can you manage a 30-unit apartment house?
Sure, but I don't want to.
It's too small, right? Yeah, it's not economical.
It's too small.
So when we met Kenny, 5-6 years ago, he just said, "You got to get bigger." I said, "Oh, thanks very much." Well, that's a word from God, as far as I'm concerned. It's time to get bigger. For some of you who are just starting out, this is your time. This is the time to start.